is Wednesday, and on this week's episode of The Shelby Show, we are digging into phone call hacks. It is time for you guys to be more efficient and effective while on the phone. Send it. Anyone who knows me knows that I strongly dislike phone calls. Why? Because usually they're super inconveniently timed. They start with way too much small talk, then some beating around the bush, and then finally the last 5 minutes are spent trying to hang up while still being polite. Gross. However, hate to say it, but many times phone calls are the best way to dig down into the root of a problem, build rapport, or calm the wild emotions that we see on a daily basis within real estate. And because of this, it's definitely in our best interest to get mega good on the phone. How, you might ask? By using these 4 steps. Step 1, answer the phone on your own terms. Contrary to popular belief, you do not have to pick up, especially if you're not ready to be on your A game. So, phone call comes in. It's Mr. Seller, he's the new listing lead that your mom sent you, and you are currently standing with hands full of groceries. The neighbor's kids are just screaming in the background down the freaking hall. Do you pick up? No, you don't pick up. You are in no shape to be on your A game with Mr. Seller. So what do? You decline Mr. Seller and you send him an automatic quick response that you've set up and programmed into your phone. Your decline text will say, with the client, call you back shortly. You're gonna come in, you're gonna put your groceries down, pull out your computer, pull up your listing script phone notes, and mentally prepare. Your mind is sharp. Your shit is together, and you are ready to calmly and confidently call back Mr. Seller and crush that call. But let's rewind real quick and go back to that part where I mentioned that you would decline the call with an automatic and personalized decline text. Don't know what I'm talking about? Grab your phone, go to your settings, go down to phone, and then respond with text. And from here, you can input your quick responses. My favorites are, with the client, I'll call you back shortly, or with the client, anything I can help with over text. I am with a client whenever I'm not 100% ready to take the call. Note, I recommend that you consider declining calls not just when your life is in shambles, but also when you're in deep focus. So when you're in deep focus and you pick up your phone every time that there is a person calling you, you're never going to be able to really attack those priority tasks that you're trying to focus on in the first place. Number 2 is to manage expectations of your time up front. This tip works best when you know you have a talker on your hands.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
So just pick up the phone and say, hey, Mr. Seller, just wanted to let you know up front that I have an appointment in 10 minutes, so let's just jump right in. From there, you've set the stage to have a super focused conversation with a definitive end time, a little light at the end of your tunnel. Now, let's say you're about 10 minutes in before you realize that you have a talker on your hands. In that case, no biggie. Just be like, hey, just wanted to let you know, Mr. Seller, I actually have an appointment that starts in 5 minutes and I wanna make sure that we talk about the way ahead for you. Now you've gained control of the conversation, you can cut to the chase and you can get off the phone in 5 minutes.
Nice.
P.S. If you haven't noticed by now, I am not always with a client and I don't always have an appointment in the next 5 minutes. But you gotta do what you gotta do to gain control of your time. Number 3 is to do the legwork before the phone call. For instance, Mr. Seller's property is now under contract, and today you receive a wild repair request from the buyer's agent.
You serious?
So, do you take this email and just forward it to Mr. Seller, hop on the phone call and try to figure out that shit together? No, it's time to do the legwork. Before contacting Mr. Seller, you are going to hit up the buyer's agent and confirm that there's no additional inspections on the calendar. You're going to confirm that the appraisal has already come in at value with no repairs, because what you don't want to do is negotiate a batch of repair requests only to find out there's more negotiations coming down the road. Then you're going to get the buyer's agents to spill the beans on their client and wipe away all those fluff requests that they didn't really care about and just tell you the main things that the buyer is concerned about. From there, you're going to send that short list to your contractor along with the home inspection and ask for a price guesstimate on those items along with the timeline that it would take to complete. Finally, now that you have all this information consolidated, you are going to think back on what the seller told you was his most important priorities, biggest pain points, and biggest goal of the sale. Using that information, you're going to come up with a proposed recommendation for the seller. And now it's time to pick up the phone. Step 4.
Damn, man, you crushed that phone call. The seller loved it. He loved your recommendation. So now you're done, right?
Almost. At this point, you are going to take everything that you guys just talked about and send a recap email. This email will include what you discussed, what decision was made, who will be executing that decision, and all timelines associated. As much as we like to think that we'd remember, that Mr. Seller would remember, and all parties associated with remember, let's be real, no one's remembering anything. But everyone will be grateful for a recap summary email. And that's all, folks. I hope that this helps you survive another day on the phone in real estate. And if you got anything out of this video, please like, subscribe, and share, or else I'm just gonna stop doing them. Just kidding. See you next Wednesday.